This is episode number 16, Why You Can't Stick to Your Diet. Welcome to the Doc Fitness Podcast, where it's all about developing your mindset, training and nutritional knowledge so you can lose body fat and build muscle effectively while still living a real life. I am your host, David O'Connor. Now let's get into the show. How are we keeping, guys? And a big welcome back to the Doc Fitness Podcast, and welcome back to Monday Thoughts, the short little to-the-point episodes where I get across my thought processes for that day. And today is no different, really. Like, I was searching over the weekend for diets in relation to an Instagram post that I'm popping out later this week on what every single diet does, and how that at the end of the day, all a diet does, it manipulates energy balance. So I want to drive that point home for people to make people understand that point a bit more. But basically, in my thought process of kind of Googling things and going through like different diets, what are the most popular diets in general, what are the most popular diets online, and even if you go to places like Eason's or bookstores or that kind of stuff, you'll see that there's so many feckin' diets out there. Like, and again, all they're doing at the end of the day they're manipulating that one energy balance principle, right? But with that, I stumbled across an article from the Irish Independent that was written of January this year. And it was basically a lady in it. She works obviously for the Irish Independent, and she was talking about how she was coming off the back of Christmas. She was kind of pissed off with the weight gain. She was growing a bit tired of waiting around, not going back to work and that kind of stuff. So she soothed her thought process by researching some diets and kind of what's a popular trend right now. And that's where my bullshit radar went off. Look, if you're following a diet that is quote-unquote trendy, if you're somebody who jumps from thing to thing to thing thinking that this is going to be the magic bullet that you need, like, really, there is no hope for you long-term. If you're not willing to come to terms with feckin' reality and realize that if you don't sit down and learn some fundamental principles behind things, that you're not going to make the progress you want. You're going to go through the binge cycle with a diet. In terms of, like, you go on a diet, you lose some weight, you go off the diet, you go back to square one, or you go back worse than before. And it's the same with a training program, jumping from training program to training program, thinking that I'm going to kind of find the next magic training program that's going to suit me. And this is exactly what I used to do back in the day as well. Like, I'd follow some kind of random training program. I wouldn't even follow it because I'd end up changing things based on what I like to do. And then I kind of stop it a few weeks in, then I just try and find the next one, without actually doing the other program and following through it and be consistent with it. And it was the same with the nutrition too. I kept trying to find that one thing or that one diet that was going to suit me because I'm unique and my body's different, all this kind of stuff. Which is complete bullshit. Like, in order to drop weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit. That is it. That's the principle behind that. So with this person and this article looking for this latest trend, it was just kind of like, Jesus, and this has gone out to how many thousands of people all over Ireland, and they're reading that. Now they're probably thinking that whatever diet she's following now is going to be the next best thing. And the diet was intermittent fasting, which again is only prolonging your first meal of the day to later on in the day, so it's just a bit easier to eat less calories overall. But all they're doing there again is they're taking out a full meal, so you're taking out a full calorie low meal of your day, which obviously is going to make it easier to eat less. And that's all that is. But again, is it right for that person to dive into that diet, we'll say, or any diet for that matter, without learning any principles behind it, without learning that I can still eat the exact same foods I'm eating, I can eat all kind of the foods I like. So, like, let's just say your diet needs to be generally, as a general rule, 70 to 80% of your diet would want to be real, whole, healthy food, right? The rest of it then, you can be a bit flexible with that. Like, you can put in processed foods there, you can put in like sauces, ice cream, blatant junk food, whatever it wants, whatever you want to be with that. And all that should be manipulated then is the quantity, volume of food, or the quantity of calories coming in through that. So the foods don't actually change. Like, it doesn't mean you stop eating bread now just because you're trying to drop body fat. Yes, you're going to need to eat less of that bread because one slice could carry 100 calories. And if you're somebody who eats 4 slices in a day, that's 400 calories. Whereas if you ended up getting those tin buns, for example, which there's 2 slices in them, but they're only 100 calories for the 2 slices, and the psychological aspect of it making you think that it's 2 slices, you've literally gone from 400 calories a day to 100 calories. Again, it's just kind of driving home the fact that you don't need to drastically change the actual foods you eat. Obviously, you need to adhere to the principle of being in that calorie deficit. Then comes like having knowledge on what's a good, healthy, kind of solid diet to go kind of down from that. So if you're eating 3 to 4 main meals a day, maybe you're somebody who likes to eat breakfast, lunch and dinner, and you might have a kind of snack after dinner, before dinner, in between that, or else you might have a snack before dinner and you might like a little chocolate bar after dinner. That is perfectly fine as long as you still achieve that calorie deficit across the day with that food. You're grand. The next most important thing that comes after then is your protein intake. Are you getting enough protein across the day to make sure that A, you're giving your body a reason to hold on to the muscle tissue that's already there, quote unquote muscle tone, and then B, it's going to keep you fuller for longer as well, because I just think people are fucking afraid of protein intake these days. And then you have the other side of it where companies are marketing to people that their products are more or higher in protein now, where they could be bumping them up like by half a fucking percent, which is nothing. But again, because it's marketing, they're able to put high protein in their package. You might fall for that. So again, look, what I'm getting at is that you need to understand the overall principle at play when it comes to losing body fat. Next thing it comes after that is, what are your preferences? What kind of daily structure do you like with your food? If you're somebody that doesn't like eating breakfast, it doesn't mean you have to eat fucking breakfast. But again, you should know that. And you should know that this is not something fancy I'm doing. I'm doing this because it suits my day. I'm eating in a certain way that's in line with my goals, but I know and understand exactly why I'm doing that. So, quote unquote, when you stop losing weight, you're not going to go back to the foods you used to eat. You're still going to eat the same foods, but you might be just eating a bit more of them, more calories, to bring it back up to like a maintenance level of calories, which basically means that your body will not gain weight or lose weight. It'll kind of stay the same. That's all that is. So you can ask yourself, based off that, are you, number one, if you're not losing weight, you're not in a calorie deficit. A calorie deficit is achieved by your diet and the exercise you do across the week, not just diet alone. I know I'm going to get too deep now if I go into that realm of things. But then the next most important factor comes after that then is the protein intake across the day. Then becomes obviously veggies, fats and carbs. Like, it has your meal a serving of protein. Like, if you look at a plate, like half the plate could be veggies, quarter of the plate could be your protein source. Then you have the other quarter broken up between the majority of that is carbs, and then a tiny bit of that will be your healthy fat sources. Once somebody has that kind of basic structure down then across the day, and they might throw in a bit of fruit as a snack then throughout that, like, you can look into tracking your calories and that kind of stuff. But again, it's all based on that fundamental knowledge that you're in the calorie deficit, you have a basic meal structure down per day, you have enough protein in each meal, and you're making progress. If you stop making progress, yes, you can dive deeper into looking into how much actual targets you're getting in by exactly how many calories, how much protein, how much carbs, how much fats, all that kind of stuff. But it's just to kind of get you out of this idea that if you're finding it hard to stick to a fucking diet long term, that is the reason why, is because you're looking for the next fucking trend when it comes to a diet. And hopefully that's opened your eyes a little bit to it. That's all I wanted to kind of get across with this. And let's not lose sight of the bigger picture here too. Like, in order to start achieving that calorie deficit from the word go, that could literally be a simple factor of drinking more water right now, focusing on eating less crap, we'll say, across the week, and just kind of tidying up your diet in a small few areas. Like, but above all, jumping from diet to diet, from plan to plan, from thing to thing, from shiny object to shiny object, is not going to get you where you want to go long term. There's no two ways about it. All you need to do is look at what you've done in the past and realize that, or even look at the friends that you might know or people you might know that have done that and realize that they haven't really gotten anywhere at the end of the day. So look, hopefully that was helpful, guys. Hopefully there's some takeaways in there for you. If you have any questions or any topics you'd like to see me cover on these kind of solo Monday Thoughts episodes, don't be afraid to drop me over a message on Instagram, or if you want to leave a podcast suggestion, which you can do over on Instagram as well. And stay tuned for later this week, where we have Dr. Michelle Norris on the podcast, where we dive into everything around where to get started when it comes to running your first kind of 5 or 10k, and we go into the stuff like running technique, sports bras for ladies, and a few more hosts of other factors around that as well. And I really enjoyed recording that episode because I'm not really a big fan of running myself, so it was nice to actually shift kind of focus for a while and talk about those things. Because even at the moment, like, we've a lot of kind of mud runs that we're doing, our members here at Doc Fitness, coming up in the gym as well. So that's it for this Monday. Thank you again for tuning in, and we shall chat to you soon. Bye bye.